Hey, Derek Campbell with Confident Home Solutions, licensed general contractor, builder, remodeler in North Carolina. If you're the type of person like I am that wants to know all things related to remodeling, such as what's the best tools, materials, methods, hit that subscribe button, notification, and leave a comment. All right, topic at hand is these quick patch, hot patch, California patch, whatever you want to call it. In this video, I show how to install it using nothing but a utility knife, pencil, and piece of cardboard or paper, either one. So stick around, we're going to show it in this video, and then towards the end, we're going to test it. All right, so I grabbed a random piece of cardboard. This just is trash. This is, I actually held a grinding wheel, but this will work. And since you could use a piece of paper, but you basically want something to measure the widest distance of your damage. So since this is 4.5 inches, this measures 4.5 inches here. Now this is a rectangle. I actually want to square it off. So I'm going to make this 4.5 inches here. I'm just going to make a couple lines with a tape measure, take it off with a laser. It'll give me a square drywall patch going back on. Let me show you how to do that. All right, so this is my 4.5 by 4.5 template to go over for that patch. That can be taken out of cardboard or anything. But what I need this for is I'm going to lay it right here on a scrap piece of drywall. Well, it's not going to be scrap for long. I'm going to be using it here. I want to leave roughly 1.5 inches here, 1.5 inches here. And we're going to come over here, 1.5 inches, and somewhere about 1.5 inches there. Alright, so I'm going to cut that. This is not super fussy. Okay, here we go. Coming back to using our template. So we're going to put this right here. You can either mark it with pencil or you can just cut right down through there with your utility knife. Now you're going to need to score it pretty decent. I'm going to go on out. I'm going to do that a few times. Now if you had, well, I was going to show you a different method with the pencil, but I may come back to this at another point. It's real important that you go to the full end. All right. So I'm going to pull this paper back here and be careful to not rip that paper. Alright, let me grab my drywall knife. So I want to get these high spots down. You don't want really any of that left. And you're going to want to go down and make sure these cuts. Now, one thing I did right here is I got a little fat on my cut right there. So that's got to be cleaned up, or you can address it by making your you got to be really careful to not go through and hit that tape. Okay, so here we go. So the next part is we're going to take this over to the wall and transfer this template onto the wall. Yeah, that'll work. I'm gonna come in here with a utility knife. Okay, so one thing I'm going to show you to do right here that you're going to want to is to back cut this a little bit, because you don't want any of this paper fighting with your patch. Those little balls right there will get caught on the back side of that. You don't want that. Now, if it wasn't for me trying to make a strong patch, you wouldn't have to be as precise. Because I'll be honest, you could probably do 1/8 inch or larger gaps and it wouldn't affect anything. But I'm going to test this patch when I'm done here, because I've been told by many people that it's a very weak patch, and that's not what we've found. So we got some drywall mud, Harley. Where is that? Okay. There you go. Let me mud it up. All right, so a couple things I show you here are going to be important. We want to put some mud in here for good squeeze out in the back, or those for a good strong patch. And let's put it on the edge here too. Alright, so you can see that that's all mudded up very well around those seams. Now, you can add a little bit more around the edge. Alright, here we go. So, put this in here. It's going to be tight because we made a decent. I pushed it flat. Okay. Now, I'm putting this over here because this patch here is actually a little bit back in, but you'll understand why I put this in here when I test it. So how are we going to test it? Well, I've already done one other test, and we were blown away with how strong these patches were. All right, now that these drywall patches have had a couple days to dry, we are going to install these easy anchor drywall anchors to test to see how many pounds they will hold, to see if we can compromise the edge of the patch or if the patch will fail altogether. All right, let's see how weak or strong these patches actually are. So, as you can see, and let me zoom in on it more. Well, there's none. There's just a tear out here. It has not compromised the edge at all. Okay, so here we go. This is our second anchor, and Harley's gonna start putting pressure down on it. Nothing. This patch has not moved at all. All right, so the first time we did this test, we were totally surprised. So I'll be honest, we had no idea that this patch would hold as much as what it did. And you know, that anchor is rated for up to 100 pounds. All 3 times that we've tested this, we went well past 150 pounds, and I'm not just talking about the anchor. We're not seeing the patch move at all. Okay, so now that's with the first time we tested it was with a 4.5 inch hole saw. The second time is a 4.5 inch squared patch, something a person can do with just a utility knife. The one caveat I want to say is that we were extremely careful on all those patches to back butter that edge, and we had good squeeze out. So I'm as much concerned about the squeeze out on the back side of this patch than I am the mud underneath that tape. That's going to secure this patch right here to the previous piece of mud. And with squeeze out, it will give you a lip on the back side of this main piece of drywall. Now, these patches have places, you know, so I'm not suggesting you should do a 16 by 16 and then expect to try to hang that amount of weight off it. No, I mean, at that point you're gonna hit a couple studs, and I probably would put a couple pieces of wood back there, plywood for strength. But I think we're proving that, you know, the myth that somebody just walking by, just knocking it, it ain't gonna move if it's done properly. There it is, guys. Tell me what you think in the comments. We were surprised too, so.